2Chronicles 34. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only, and he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. Yah is short for YahWeh, Yahweh, Yod, He, Vav, He. There's no difference. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matters when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name, because no, they're not, and no one in the right mind would ever believe that, and only a fool would believe that a hammer could force its creator to do anything. Excuse me. And, there was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic text because the letter J is only about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. In a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua, and I strongly believe that the son of Elohim's name, Yehoshua, means Yahweh is salvation. 34. Yoshea was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem, and he did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh. How do I know that? Because he served 31 years. And he did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh, and walked in the ways of his father David, and did not turn aside right or left. And in the 8th year of his reign, while he was still young, he began to seek the Elohim of his father David. And in the 12th year he began to cleanse Yehudah and Jerusalem from the high places and the Asherim and the carved images and the molded images, and they broke down the slaughter places of the Baals, so the lords, in his presence, and the sun pillars which were above them he cut down, and the Asherim and the carved images and the molded images he smashed and ground them up and strewed Strewed? Strewed it on the surface of the burial sites of those who had slaughtered to them. Oh, I would have done that same thing. I would have just burned it to ashes, to be honest, but And he burned the bones of the priests on their slaughter places, and cleansed Yehudah in Jerusalem, and in the cities of Manasseh and Ephraim and Shimon, as far as Naphtali, in their ruins all around. And he broke down the slaughter places and the Asherim, and ground the carved images into dust, and cut down all the sun pillars throughout all the land of Israel, and returned to Jerusalem. And in the 18th year of his reign, when he had cleansed the land and the house, he sent Shaphan, Shaphan, son of Atzaliah, Atsalyahu, and Messiah, M-A'-A-S-E with a half a check mark, Y-A-H-U, the head of the city, and Yoah, Y-O apostrophe A-H with a dot, son of Yoahaz, Y-O apostrophe A-Z, A-H with a dot, A-Z, the recorder, to repair the house of Yahweh his Elohim. And they went to Hilkiah the high priest, and they gave the silver that was brought into the house of Elohim, which the Levites who kept the doors had gathered from the hand of Manasseh and Ephraim, and from all the remnant of Israel, and from all Yehudah and Benjamin, and which they had brought back to Jerusalem. And they gave it to the hand of the workmen, those appointed over the house of Yahweh. And they gave it to the workmen who worked in the house of Yahweh to repair and strengthen the house. And they gave it to the craftsmen and to the builders to buy hewn stone and timber for couplings and for beams for the houses which the sovereigns of Yehudah had destroyed. And the men did the work trustworthily, and over them were appointed Yahath and Obadiah, O-B with a line underneath of it, A-D with a line underneath of it, Y-A-H-U, the Levites of the sons of Merari, and Zechariah, and Meshullam, M-E-S-H-U-L-L-A-M, of the sons of the Quehathites, Q-E-H-A-T-H-I-T-E-S, to oversee, and of the Levites, all of whom were skilled in instruments of song, and over the burden bearers, and over the seers, and overseers of all who did work in any kind of service, and of the Levites were scribes and officers and gatekeepers. And when they brought out the silver that was brought into the house of Yahweh, Hilkiah the priest, Hilkiah is H with a dot, Ilqiyyahu, the priest, found the book of the Torah of Yahweh given by Moshe. Then Hilkiah responded and said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the Torah in the house of Yahweh. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and Shaphan brought the book to the sovereign, and brought the sovereign word, saying, all that has been given into the hand of your servants they are doing, and they have poured out the silver that was found in the house of Yahweh, and have given it into the hand of those appointed and the workmen. And Shaphan the scribe informed the sovereign, saying, Hilkiah the priest has given me a book. And Shaphan read it before the sovereign. And it came to be, when the sovereign heard the words of the Torah, that he tore his garments. And the sovereign commanded Hilkiah, Ahikam, AH with a dot, IQAM, son of Shaphan, and Abdon, AB with a line underneath of it, DON, son of Micah, MIK with a line underneath of it, AH, and Shaphan the scribe, and Isaiah, ASAYAH, a servant of the sovereign, saying, go inquire to Yahweh for me, and for him who is left in Israel and in Yehudah, concerning the words of the book that is found, for great is the wrath of Yahweh that is poured out on us, because our fathers have not guarded the word of Yahweh, to do according to all that is written in this book. Then Hilkiah and those of the sovereign went to Huldah, H with a dot, ULDAH, the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, son of Tokath. Shallum is Shallum, and Tokath is Toqhath, son of Hasrah, H with a dot, ASRAH, keeper of the wardrobe, who was dwelling in Jerusalem in the second quarter. Quarter's 25, and it's the second quarter, then it's halfway. 4 quarters, 3 months. Could be what it's talking about, I don't know. And they spoke to her about this, not broke to her, they spoke to her about this, and she said to them, thus said Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, say to the man who sent you to me, thus said Yahweh, see, I am bringing evil on this place and on its inhabitants, all the curses that were written in the book which they have read before the sovereign of Yehudah, because they have forsaken me and burned incense to other mighty ones, to provoke me with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath is poured out on this place, and is not quenched. And the sovereign of Yehudah, who sent you to inquire of Yahweh, say this to him, thus said Yahweh, Elohim, I'll restart that. Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, whose words you have heard, because your heart was tender, and you humbled yourself before Elohim, when you heard his words against this place and against its inhabitants, and you humbled yourself before me, and you tore your garments and wept before me, I also have heard, declares Yahweh. See, I am gathering you to your fathers, and you shall be gathered to your burial site in peace, so that your eyes would not see all the evil that I am bringing on this place and its inhabitants. So they brought back word to the sovereign, and the sovereign sent and gathered all the elders of Yehudah and Jerusalem. And the sovereign went up to the house of Yahweh with all the men of Yehudah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and the priests and the Levites, and all the people, both great and small, and he read in their hearing all the words of the book of the covenant which had been found in the house of Yahweh. And the sovereign stood in his place and made a covenant before Yahweh to follow Yahweh and to guard his commands and his witnesses and his laws with all his heart and all his being, to do the work to do the words of the covenant that were written in this book, and he made stand all who were present in Jerusalem and Benjamin, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem did according to the covenant of Elohim, the Elohim of their fathers. And Yoshia removed all the abominations from all the lands that belonged to the children of Israel, and made all who were present in Israel diligently serve YahWeh their Elohim all his days. They did not turn away from following YahWeh Elohim of their fathers. And what after that? It was a slaughter fest or something? I don't know. Anyways, that's a good chapter.